Now I'm pretty sure you read the title, so you know what's coming. Now this is really the subject that absolutely no one wants to hear about. This is something you don't hear too often, but you definitely go through it every day. Unless you don't have a license or a car, but I'm sure you take rides with someone else. And while you're driving down the street, this tends to happen a lot. And it makes people angry. They just want to grab that car, levitate and move it to the side so you can just start driving on. Either that or you cross the next lane, honk at them, giving the mean look, and cut them in the front to teach them a lesson. But are you really teaching them a lesson? Or are they showing a type of lesson that we're not looking at? Now that's what I want to get into. So we could say the speed limits are posted in almost every road. And yeah, sometimes the speed limit could seem too slow for that exact road. I used to look at the signs and take it as a challenge. 35? No cops, so I'm gonna bring it up a notch. But coming down to the golden question, is going above the speed limit the right thing to do? Now I really mean this question because as a Christian, I'm pretty sure you're trying to live your life the right way, all the way around. And yeah, you might be doing fine in every other aspect of your life like I thought I was doing. But when it came to getting inside my car, things were different. I would never consider the speed limit because everybody else is not following it. Yeah, you will find those rare cars on the right lane always following the speed limit, but it's rarely to see. But once you see them, you always find that one person that tailgates. And then we have those other people that pass to their left with that one face like saying you shouldn't have keys, you shouldn't have license, you shouldn't be driving.
Cada vez que el mar rojo tú tengas que pasar, llama siempre a ese hombre que te va a ayudar. En la llama siempre a ese hombre que tiene poder.
Yeah, you might find those people that cut them off and do some brake checks on them. I used to do a couple of those things because I was mad. I thought they were holding back the lane. I just wanted to go. Now, as I'm thinking I'm doing the right thing, and in my head I portray those people that are going slow or following the speed limit to be either trying to be annoying or doing those things on purpose to, I don't know, bother everybody else. I was completely wrong. It's just something I never realized, but I figured I would have known eventually because I was praying to God to reveal to me in my life anything that's not allowing me to be the servant that he called me to be. And then a pretty weird question popped in my head. If Jesus had a car, would he follow the speed limit? And then it hit me. I was like, oh no. I like driving fast. I like getting to places fast. I don't like wasting time. I got no patience. I have a 6-speed Honda SI that I can't even use to the max. But I had to bring myself back to reality and go to that one place where I could get my answers. The Bible. And I found what I was looking for.
1 Peter chapter 2 verses 13 to 17. Submit yourselves to every ordinance of man for the Lord's sake, whether it be to the king as supreme, or unto governors as unto them that are sent by him for the punishment of evildoers, and for the praise of them that do well. For so is the will of God, that with well doing ye may put to silence the ignorance of foolish men, as free, and not using your liberty for a cloak of maliciousness, but as the servant of God. Honor all men, love the brotherhood, fear God, honor the king.
That verse hit me, but it didn't stop there.
Romans chapter 13 verses 1 through 4. Let every soul be subject unto the higher powers, for there is no power but of God. The powers that be are ordained of God. Whosoever therefore resisteth the power, resisteth the ordinance of God, and they that resist shall receive to themselves damnation. For rulers are not a terror to good works, but to evil. Wilt thou then not be afraid of the power? Do that which is good, and thou shalt have praise of the same. For he is the minister of God to thee for good. But if thou do that which is evil, be afraid. For he beareth not the sword in vain, for he is the minister of God, a revenger to execute wrath upon him that doeth evil.
But yeah, the Bible commands us to follow the law. You on the other side of the camera are probably saying, of course we follow the law. That's obvious, common sense. We don't kill, we don't rob, we don't assault people. Oh, the speed limit is not a big law, it's a small law. And you know, if there's no cops, and everybody else is doing it, then it's fine, we should do it. Sorry, but the Bible doesn't teach that. It says we are to submit to our government authorities. And yeah, you might see a cop maybe breaking the law. Doesn't mean you should break it too. Either they might have an emergency, or they're just one regular human being that have no patience and is abusing power. Even if the cop saw you and didn't give you a ticket for breaking the speed limit, you're still not doing the right thing. it's still breaking the law. Yeah, you got away from the cop. Now you still gotta face God. Yeah, maybe you don't have to face him now, but one day you will in judgment. Because you thinking this small mistake might not even affect your salvation. It might be the small thing that's holding you back from what God's trying to do in your life. But we suppress that idea, and I was doing the same thing too. Never understanding that by breaking the speed limit itself, I'm still breaking the law. And that one thing under God's eye, it's sin. So even if in every other aspect in my life I'm doing the right thing and I'm failing in this, I'm still failing. And we Christians are supposed to be sending a message.
2 Corinthians chapter 3 verse 2 says, "You yourselves are our letter, written on our hearts, known and read by everyone."
So if we claim to be a Christian, yet we're breaking the speed limit every time we go on the road, we really are giving the message that breaking the law is the right thing to do. Even if it's a little breaking law. And yeah, trust me, following the speed limit must be one of the hardest things to do. When I first started to do it, and yes, I'm currently doing it, I had to hold my feet down. I had to get it out of the accelerator. I would adjust my speed to the speed limit, hit cruise control and just let it go. And I would see so many cars behind me, tailgating me, just try to make me move. They would start driving around me, they would start honking their horn. And I started to think like, wow, is that really how it feels to follow the speed limit? And at that point, God revealed to me a great analogy about this. And it's about us Christians when we're living in the world. Now you driving your car according to the speed limit represents your life in the world trying to do the right thing. Now my body wanting to tell my leg to hit that gas pedal is basically my body out there in the world trying to submit itself to sin. Maybe saying, I can't take this life, I can't keep doing the right thing, I have to do something bad. Because we do live in a corrupted body. Now those people tailgating you, those honking at you, cutting you, those are the people out there in the world that despise you for trying to do the right thing all the way around in your life. But here's the interesting part. Now the same way when you're following the speed limit and you look ahead of you, you see a lot of cars driving away, and next to you a lot of cars passing by. But when you look in the back mirror, you see there's other cars following the same speed as you. Now it will look like a small group, but isn't it like that in the real world too? Majority of people are doing what they want to do. You start thinking that maybe you're the only one doing the right thing because you don't see anybody else doing it. Everybody else is just flying away. And I don't know why, but this verse came into mind.
Matthew chapter 24 verse 37 says, "But as the days of Noah were, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be."
So in the days of Noah, the whole world, the whole majority of people were doing bad things. They were being completely wicked. But this one small group, the family of Noah, did the right thing. They made the difference. So if we were to compare that verse to nowadays, where everybody else, the whole majority, is just doing whatever they want to do, and then you have this minority, this small group of people that you barely see that still do the right thing. And then I'm like, whoa, like that makes a lot of sense. We were called to make a difference. We weren't called to follow the crowd, but to stand out in the crowd. So those people that are driving fast, they're noticing you. They're noticing that you're doing something different, but that you're doing something they wouldn't consider to do themselves because they don't like it. They feel that the way that they're doing is the right way. It's the easy way. And hey, as long as nobody notices, it's alright. But that type of mentality doesn't get you anywhere, because then you gotta start thinking, if God doesn't see me, then maybe I'm doing the right thing. If I don't see God punishing me, then maybe it's okay. That isn't the right way to think, because everybody in this world will still have to face God in judgment. Plus, I know there's a lot of good benefits of following the speed limit. I save on gas. I don't have to get mad at people being slow in front of me. I actually get a lot of the green lights, to be honest. I could be calm and don't have to be looking around for any cops. And it really has helped me to build my patience up. And that helps build some self-control. And yeah, I get it. Sometimes you do wake up late and then you have to rush yourself to work and you're gonna be flying through that road. I know a lot of things happen, but you have to be responsible because there's a lot of consequences from you flying in that road. Who knows, you might run into an accident and that might be your last day just for trying to get there a couple minutes early. Trust me guys, I did not like this idea when it first came to me. I would have never even imagined myself thinking about this or ever doing that, following the speed limit. And this message really goes out to the people that are trying to do the right thing in God's eyes. Now you might be thinking, okay, I'm doing everything right in God's eyes. There shouldn't be anything wrong. But there's this one thing that you're missing. I know this could be that one thing. Because as small as it might seem, as beneficial as it might seem breaking this, it's still breaking that law. Still not right in God's eyes. Going back to my question at the beginning, and be honest, answer this to yourself. If Jesus had a car, Will he follow the speed limit? Now, depending on your answer, you should know what's the next thing you're gonna do when you get inside a car. Yeah, you will see a lot of people saying that going 1, 5, or maybe 10 above the speed limit is acceptable. But I'm sure we can all agree that limit means a point or level which something cannot extend or pass. And you know what's the interesting part? While the government gives you a speed limit number, it seems like the type of speed that we wouldn't like. Like it's made to make us fail. Like they don't already make cars fast enough to break those limits. Like every year they give you more horsepower. They're making you want to hit that gas pedal. They're pretty much trying to make you break the law. And you might say, so if they're trying to make us break the law, then we shouldn't listen to them and then break their law. I'm sorry, but God says to submit to your authorities. And there is a certain limit that you should submit to your authorities, and that's until their laws defy God's law.
Acts chapter 4 verses 18 through 19 says, "And they called them, and commanded them not to speak at all nor teach in the name of Jesus. But Peter and John answered and said unto them, Whether it be right in the sight of God to hearken unto you more than unto God, judge ye."
So if the commands or the laws of the authorities defy God's laws, that's when you should stop following them. Even though it might be hard, you might have a heavy foot, you might have people behind you getting mad at you. But as a Christian, obedience to God should be your priority. Please keep this in mind next time you're driving. It will be hard the first few days, but I got used to it already. To feel honest, I feel a clean conscience with God now. I know I was everywhere. I was going from here to there. Maybe I might have missed a couple things, but I hope you understood the foundation, and that is that you being as a Christian and wanting to follow God in obedience throughout everything that you do, that you make sure you're not missing one single part. Now God bless you guys, and this is Abner from Why So Blessed.
Take my life and let it be set on fire for all to see. Break me down, build me up again. Don't leave me the way I've been. Take my heart into your hands. Come and finish what you began. Till I seek your kingdom first. Till I shine, shine like heaven on earth. Like heaven on earth.